What happened to the other sons of Abram? Abraham is called the father of nations. But what about the sons history forgot? We all know Isaac and Ishmael, but did you know Abraham had at least 6 more sons? Their descendants shaped kingdoms, influenced empires, and even today, their bloodlines may run through millions of people. The Bible mentions them briefly, but their stories remain untold. Where did these forgotten sons go? What nations did they build? And why does their legacy matter to us today? Stick around because we're about to uncover secrets buried for thousands of years. In this video, we will reveal the life of each one and trace their genealogy using the Bible and other reliable, non-biblical sources. Who knows? You may be a descendant of one of them. Let's start with Ishmael, the firstborn. 1. Ishmael. Ishmael, Abraham's firstborn son by Hagar the Egyptian, represents both God's mercy and the consequences of human impatience. Though not the child of promise, Ishmael received divine blessings and became the father of 12 princes. These 12 sons established powerful tribes that dominated northern Arabia and the Paran Desert. Islamic tradition holds that Muhammad descended from Ishmael, connecting over 1 billion Muslims to Abraham's lineage. The Bible records Ishmael as a wild donkey of a man, whose hand would be against everyone, yet God still cared for him. His descendants became nomadic warriors and traders who influenced the entire Arabian Peninsula. Today, many Arab nations proudly trace their ancestry back to this son of Abraham. The complex relationship between Isaac and Ishmael's descendants continues to shape Middle Eastern geopolitics. While Isaac's line produced the Israelites, Ishmael's children became the Arabs, 2 peoples bound by blood yet divided by destiny. The Quran honors Ishmael as a prophet and crucial link in the chain of monotheistic faith. Modern DNA studies confirm the close genetic relationship between Jewish and Arab populations. Ishmael's story teaches us that God's plans are perfect, even when human actions complicate them. His blessings on Ishmael show that God cares for all his children, not just those of the covenant. The ongoing tension between these brothers' descendants reminds us that family divisions can last millennia. 2. Isaac. Isaac, the miracle child born to Abraham and Sarah in their old age, was the fulfillment of God's promise. As the heir of the covenant, Isaac's lineage would become the foundation of the Israelite nation. His twin sons, Jacob and Esau, would go on to father 2 great peoples, the Israelites and Edomites. Jacob's 12 sons became the patriarchs of the 12 tribes of Israel, God's chosen people. Esau's descendants, the Edomites, settled in the mountainous region of Seir, modern-day southern Jordan. Through centuries of migration and diaspora, Isaac's bloodline spread across Canaan, Egypt, and eventually the entire world. Today, Jewish communities worldwide trace their spiritual and often genetic heritage back to this promised son of Abraham. The story of Isaac reminds us how one man's faithfulness changed world history forever. His near sacrifice on Mount Moriah foreshadowed God's ultimate plan of redemption. While Isaac's descendants faced slavery in Egypt, they emerged as a mighty nation. King David and Jesus Christ himself would come from this lineage, fulfilling ancient prophecies. Modern Jews, though ethnically diverse from centuries of diaspora, still maintain this connection to their patriarch. The Edomites, though eventually absorbed by other nations, played significant roles in biblical history. Isaac's legacy proves that God's promises endure through generations, shaping destinies in ways we can still see today. 3. Zimran. Zimran, one of Abraham's sons with Keturah, is a shadowy figure, barely mentioned in the Bible. Yet his descendants likely roamed the deserts of northwestern Arabia, blending with local tribes. Some scholars link them to ancient trade routes near the Red Sea, while others suggest they migrated into Africa, absorbed by larger nations. Unlike Isaac and Ishmael, Zimran's legacy wasn't recorded in detail, just a name in a genealogy. So what happened to his people? They may have become part of modern Saudi tribes or even Sudanese groups, their identity lost to time. Without kingdoms or scriptures, Zimran's descendants faded into the sands, proof that not all of Abraham's sons left a lasting mark. But their blood still flows somewhere, forgotten but not gone. Before we uncover the rest of Abraham's forgotten sons, we need your help. We're on a mission to reach 100,000 subscribers this year, and we can't do it without you. If you're fascinated by these untold stories, hit that like button and subscribe. Every click helps us bring more hidden history to light. Now let's get back to the mystery. 4. Jokshan. Jokshan, another son of Abraham with Keturah, stands as a bridge between Arabia and Africa through his remarkable descendants. His sons Sheba and Dedan established powerful trading kingdoms that controlled lucrative spice and incense routes. The Sabians, descended from Sheba, built magnificent cities in Yemen and possibly Ethiopia, including the famous Marib Dam. Dedan's people dominated northwestern Arabia, leaving behind impressive rock carvings and inscriptions. These kingdoms interacted with biblical figures like Solomon and possibly even the Queen of Sheba. Their wealth came from controlling trade between Africa, Arabia, and the Mediterranean world. Today, modern Yemenis and Ethiopians may carry Jokshan's legacy in their veins. The Sabian civilization developed a sophisticated writing system and advanced irrigation techniques. They worshipped celestial bodies before some converted to Judaism and later Islam. Dedan's descendants likely merged with other Arabian tribes, their distinct identity fading over time. The Bible mentions Sheba's gold and spices as symbols of wealth and luxury. Some scholars believe the Queen of Sheba's visit to Solomon marked a pivotal cultural exchange. Jokshan's story shows how Abraham's influence extended far beyond Canaan through trade and diplomacy. His descendants prove that greatness isn't limited to the primary covenant line. 5. Medan. Medan remains one of the most mysterious of Abraham's sons, with scholars debating even his basic history. The Bible mentions him only in genealogies, giving no details about his life or descendants. Some suggest his people merged with the Midianites or other Arabian tribes. Others propose they migrated toward Mesopotamia, blending with early Akkadian or Babylonian cultures. Unlike his brothers, Medan left no archaeological evidence or recorded interactions with Israel. His obscurity makes him a blank canvas for historical speculation. Yet his very existence reminds us that not all family stories get preserved. The silence surrounding Medan speaks volumes about how history remembers some and forgets others. Perhaps his descendants became simple farmers or nomads who left no grand monuments. Maybe they were absorbed by more powerful neighbors through conquest or intermarriage. In modern terms, Medan represents all those family members whose stories fade with time. His inclusion in Abraham's lineage shows that God values every life, even those history overlooks. For viewers tracing their own ancestry, Medan's story might resonate deeply. Sometimes the most meaningful legacies aren't the most visible ones. You won't believe the connections we're about to uncover. One of Abraham's sons might have founded a kingdom linked to the Queen of Sheba. Another could be the ancestor of Job's friend. Stick around, because the most surprising revelations are still coming. 6. Midian. Midian stands out among Keturah's sons as the most biblically significant after Isaac and Ishmael. His descendants, the Midianites, played complex roles throughout Israel's history, sometimes allies, often enemies. Moses found refuge in Midian after fleeing Egypt, marrying Zipporah, daughter of the Midianite priest Jethro. Yet later, Midianite women led Israel into idolatry, prompting God's judgment. The Midianites were nomadic traders who controlled crucial routes between Arabia and the Mediterranean. Their territory spanned from northwestern Arabia to the Sinai Peninsula. Gideon's famous victory over the Midianites marked a turning point in Israel's history. The Midianites' relationship with Israel reflects the complicated ties between Abraham's descendants. Jethro helped Moses organize Israel's judicial system, showing positive collaboration. Yet their later conflicts demonstrate how quickly alliances could sour. Some scholars believe the Kenites, another nomadic group, were actually a Midianite clan. Today, Bedouin tribes in Jordan and Saudi Arabia may carry Midianite heritage. Their story reminds us that family connections don't guarantee peaceful relations. The Midianites' legacy lives on in both biblical history and possibly modern Arabian culture. 7. Ishbak. Ishbak's story is so obscure that even dedicated Bible scholars struggle to piece together details. His single biblical mention provides no information about his descendants or accomplishments. Some theories suggest his tribe settled in northern Arabia near Damascus. Others propose connections to Mesopotamian cultures based on linguistic analysis. The complete absence of archaeological evidence makes Ishbak a true historical mystery. His name might imply a connection to service or labor in ancient Semitic languages. This has led some to speculate his people became servants to more powerful kingdoms. The mystery of Ishbak invites us to consider all the untold stories in biblical history. For every famous patriarch, there were countless ordinary people living faithful lives. Ishbak's inclusion in Scripture shows that God remembers everyone, even if history doesn't. Modern readers might relate to Ishbak. Most of us won't leave grand legacies either. Yet his place in Abraham's family reminds us that every person matters in God's eyes. Perhaps future archaeological discoveries will shed light on this forgotten son. Until then, Ishbak stands as a symbol of humility in a family of famous figures. 8. Shuah. Shuah's potential connection to Bildad the Shuhite makes him uniquely interesting among Abraham's lesser-known sons. If this link holds, it means Shuah's descendants participated in one of the Bible's most profound theological discussions. The Shuhites likely lived in northeastern Arabia or southern Mesopotamia. Their location would have exposed them to Babylonian wisdom traditions. This might explain Bildad's eloquent speeches in the Book of Job. Shuah's people were probably semi-nomadic, moving between desert pastures and settled communities. Their interactions with other Mesopotamian cultures would have enriched their worldview. Bildad's appearance in Job suggests Shuah's descendants maintained some knowledge of God. His arguments reflect traditional wisdom about divine justice and human suffering. The Shuhites may have been among the many groups who knew of Yahweh outside Israel. This challenges assumptions that only Abraham's covenant line preserved true faith. Shuah's story hints at a broader divine plan encompassing all nations. His inclusion in Job's narrative shows that truth can come from unexpected places. For modern believers, Shuah reminds us that God speaks through diverse voices and cultures. In conclusion, Abraham's legacy extends far beyond the well-known stories of Isaac and Ishmael. His other sons founded nations, built civilizations, and shaped history in profound ways. From the spice traders of Sheba to the nomadic Midianites, their influence touched 3 continents. Modern genetic studies confirm that Middle Eastern peoples share remarkable DNA connections. This scientific evidence supports the biblical account of a common patriarchal ancestor. Abraham truly became the father of many nations as God promised. The diversity of Abraham's descendants reflects God's love for all humanity. While Isaac carried the covenant promise, God blessed all of Abraham's children in different ways. Their stories remind us that history isn't just about the winners who wrote the records. Even forgotten people groups played vital roles in God's plan. As we explore these ancient connections, we gain new appreciation for our shared human story. Abraham's family teaches us that every life matters in the grand narrative of history. Please take a moment to like this video. It really helps our channel grow and reach more people with fascinating biblical history. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click that button. We're working toward 100,000 subscribers this year, and every single one counts. Let us know in the comments which son's story surprised you most. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.